the candid space. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, share this video, like it, and God bless you as you do that. If you have been a subscriber for the longest time, thank you so much for showing your support and your love. So today I'll be talking about Nigerian politics. As we all know, or as some of us will know, Nigeria is having its elections on the 25th. That is this coming Saturday. I'm shooting this video on Friday, so yeah, it's tomorrow. They're having the elections tomorrow, and Nigeria is a federal state with the president as the head of state, and they have about 36 states that are headed by the governor. So they're doing their elections, as I have said, this Saturday. And there's one major thing I have noted. Let me start by my country. I'm Kenyan. And we did our elections last year on August 9th. Yes, that is when we did our elections. And before the elections, as we all know, it happens in every country, there were predictions from, prophets or men of God, some of them men of God, genuine men of God, and some of them not. We even had predictions from, prophets from other countries. I wouldn't rate them as men of God or not because I do not know where they stand with their God. It is what it is. So we had our elections and predictions came. Some were saying Raila Odinga will be the president of the country. Others were saying, William Ruto will take this thing. And as we all know, William Ruto took this thing. And surprisingly enough, he won with 5 million votes and Raila lost with 8 million votes. As Kenyans, you're still trying to understand what happened in between. And again, those that predicted that Ruto would win this thing, some of them were fathers of this land. And their inclination was towards Ruto. I don't know it's whether because they were paid or not. I wouldn't understand, but we had some of them mocking the other party, calling Raila a witch or a wizard. Is it a wizard? Yeah. Calling Raila a wizard for I don't know the things he's done and telling the members not to dare vote for Raila because he's the worst thing that I don't know will happen to this country. Ruto is a solution. And yes, Ruto sat on that thing. Probably the members clapped because, our father said this, and it happened. So probably the members were excited that, the prophecy came to pass. Ruto has been on that seat. I don't know. It should be 6 or 7 months right now. I don't know exactly how long it has been. But as a country, we have seen trouble. It has been from one trouble to the other. Everything in this country has hiked in levels that cannot be explained. He said when he's going to drop the Bible, in his exact words, everything will come down in terms of prices. But what have we experienced? A dramatic rise in things. Are we complaining? Some are complaining because they're facing this hard moment in their lives. But Christians like we are living on God's budget and we live outside the economy of this country, so we are not complaining. So that is what happened. And before Ruto sat on that seat, of course, he was going to churches, calling off the opposing party on things like economy, telling, I don't know, they're doing this the wrong way. He was part of the government, the previous government that was in power as the deputy president, but as the deputy president, he kind of absconded his role and he was busy campaigning even before he was, out of the seat and was declared ready to start the campaigns. He was already campaigning, trashing the government that he's part of for doing things the way they're doing them. And he said when he will be in government, he'll do something better. We as Kenyans are still waiting for the something better because we are yet to see it. He made a lot of promises, some of them wayward and weird, and he has done none of them. But anyway, we thank God. Before that, he was going to churches, claiming that he's the one, he has the solution to this country, being given platforms to speak and abuse people in church services and all that. I blame the pastors for that. I don't know what they were doing. Probably they were paid or whatever. I don't care about that. Now, let us come to Nigerian politics. Nigerian politics right now, campaigns are ongoing. Maybe they've stopped. It's Friday. Maybe they've stopped. I don't know really. But there's one major thing I've noted about the fathers of the land of Nigeria. There are people I respect so much. There's Bishop David Oyedepo. I respect that man with everything I have. If you must know, he is my spiritual grandfather. I respect him. He's very good. Adeboye, Baba Adeboye. There is Pastor Chintalk. There is Apostle Joshua Selman. There is Michael Oropo. These are powerful men of God. And I've been looking at their stands with regards to the 2023 elections. And I've not seen any of them leaning to a particular side. And if they've leaned to any particular side, they are not trashing the other side, which was something very common, last year when we were preparing for elections as Kenyans. I've not seen them trashing the other side. I've not seen them trashing any other side. Their opinions are like, vote for this person because of this, vote for the person that will bring change in this country. For example, in the words of Bishop David Oyedepo, he says that he's taking nothing from the government. So he has nothing to lose with either of the governments coming in or not. And he says in his very words that what Nigeria needs is not a leader, but a deliverer. He says that in 2015, he saw the country plunging into so much tragedy. But he says that at the moment right now, what Nigeria needs is a deliverer and not a leader. Bishop Adeboye, Baba Adeboye, on the other hand, says that he calls off the prophets that are saying that they're not specific about what they're prophesying. It's like they've been, fed this hand, so they're prophesying with this other hand. And when it comes to such matters, the prophecy becomes compromised in a way because you're prophesying according to the highest bidder. And he's like, if you want to give prophecies, please make sure your prophecies are accurate, because God is not an author of confusion. He will tell you this is what will happen. He will not tell you in his words. He says he will not tell you that, if the first man wins, there'll be plenty of water. If the second man wins, there'll be plenty of food. If the third man wins, there'll be plenty of water to drink. But God will say, this is the man that will win, and he'll point out who will win. So he's like, be clear on your prophecies. And if you've heard from God, please be sure to speak. And if you've not, please sit down. And there's my very favorite, Apostle Joshua Selman. Apostle Joshua Selman says he has no inclination to any party, no inclination whatsoever to any party. But he says, and I love this very much, he says that if there is anyone that is using evil powers to get into that throne, whatever political position they are vying for, they should be defeated in Jesus' name. And he's calling on the blood of Christ to stand on the throne of Nigeria. Nothing would be better than that. And this is something that I have noted the difference. And I'm like, if only Kenya could do this. The church in Nigeria has earned so much respect. And there's one thing actually that Bishop Oyedepo says. He says that the security of Nigeria is at zero. I know the economy of Nigeria is at zero. Everything in Nigeria is at zero. But what stands firm at the moment is the church. And that is very good. The church stands strong. I think countries should just imitate this, that the church is at the center of politics, not influencing politics in any way, but praying for the best of the best of the best. In Kenya, we are facing so much trouble where the church has been compromised. The church has been compromised. We see church leaders just dining with kings. I'm not saying dining with kings is wrong, but there's the kind of dining that is different, the kind of dining that compromises your position as a leader. That is very wrong. The Bible says in the book of, Isaiah 6:1 starts by Isaiah saying that when King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord. The relation between Uzziah and Isaiah was that Uzziah was Isaiah's uncle. And to that, you expect there should be an amount of compromise. So until he died, Isaiah had not seen the Lord. Meaning, when it comes to prophets and men of God, we need to draw the line between, we need to draw the line between dining with political leaders, because it might compromise us in a way. If they're feeding us, if they're clothing us, if they're at the center of our lives, we might end up compromising things. So I just wanted to comment that specific thing that I've noted about Nigeria. And the Nigerian church right now is growing so tremendously, which is commendable. And to all Nigerians, just wishing you a happy and peaceful elections. Please go and vote, go and vote. And one thing, by the way, before I forget, even the music ministers have dedicated their lives into praying for Nigeria, into telling people, go and vote, go and vote, go and vote, go and vote. It is so good. And another thing I also noticed, I've said before that William Ruto, was going to churches and he was given a chance on the platforms, on the altars to, speak, and I don't know what say, I don't know what he would say, but definitely it was not something God related. But in Nigeria, I have seen a lot of political leaders that go to church and say nothing. They just sit in the congregation, listen to the word, pray and worship like the rest, and walk home. The other day, Peter Obi was in Dr. Paul Enenche's church. He said nothing. He wasn't given the microphone to speak. He wasn't given a special opportunity to stand and say hi to the people and probably chip a word in on two for his supporters for the campaign and all that. We should really copy this. The church should be separate from politics, in that political leaders should just not walk into a church and be given a platform to speak because they are political leaders, or because they are going to give, some heavy offering, or they are going to give the pastor a car. We should not compromise. We should not compromise. We are children of God, and our God has everything that we need. So there is no way we should be licking the feet of political leaders. They are the ones that are supposed to be licking our feet, because we carry something bigger. We carry a system that can shift a whole political system. It can shift a whole nation. We carry something bigger. So Nigerians, happy elections to you all. Give your best. Go and vote. If you fail to vote, you're voting in a bad leader. So carry yourself for as you are. Go and vote. Go and vote for the best of the best of the best. And God bless you. Have a peaceful election. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and God bless you. Bye.